Welcome to Necessary Conversations. I'm your host, Saleem Isiah. I got my guy, my teammate, IT, Isaiah Tolbert. How you doing, bro?
What's good, bro? How you been, bro?
You good?
Yeah, you know me, cool.
Man, you just finished your senior year here, your last year at AIC. How was your time at AIC? Like, if you could put it, it's hard to put it under one word, but you could put it under one word, what would it be?
Sheesh. I would say great. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Great.
Yeah.
Is that like great as in just the time you've had, great as in what you gave to the program? Like, what do you?
I would say like great both ways. Like what I gave to the program and just my time here. Like, feel me? I came here. I was like, oh hell no, this not for me. But like over time, that shit just grew on me, and like I enjoyed it. I love it out here. Just moved out here over the summer, so got a job out here. So definitely a great area for me. I enjoyed it. Teammates, everybody I got with me, great.
Yeah.
Loved playing with them. Enjoyed that time, and I'm gonna miss that.
Yeah. So you talk about when you first got here, you was like, oh yeah, nah, this is not for me. So talk about like your welcome to college football moment, like whether it's in a game, whether it's in practice, you know what I mean? Like, what's your welcome to college football feeling like? Nah, this is real.
I got two stories for
Okay.
that one. So, camp coming in, first day of camp, we under the shoot, everybody just doing get all stuff like that. And Anthony Appleton, one of my that's one of my dogs
Yeah.
to this day. He made sure he kept me in check, another D lineman. So like we getting off the shoot, he just started yelling. He like, yo, why y'all ain't running? You. I'm like, who you talking to? So I'm looking around. I'm like, nah, he ain't talking to me. He said, you. Well, I don't know why you looking around as you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, I'm running. I'm like, I'm doing something better than other niggas.
Yeah.
So he wasn't like messing with it. So he like, nah, he gotta keep going. So I'm like, oh nah. I'm like, shit gets serious.
Yeah.
It's like everybody coaching each other. Ain't no
Yeah.
coach for real. So that was like one of the first moments for me, and like he like made sure I stayed in check. First game we played Shippensburg at Shippensburg.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever played there, but if you have, that environment is crazy.
Nah,
I'm
I
not
haven't.
gonna lie to you.
Okay.
You know how New Haven got the cannon?
Yeah.
They cannon worse. I ain't gonna lie.
Mm.
So we get in first series. I ain't gonna lie. They was a offense. They was a hurry up offense. Linemen getting on the board. They making subs. All of this.
Uh-huh.
Yo, first 5 plays. It was just back to back to back. I'm like, nah. Me and Jason looked at each other like, yo, we need to call a timeout or something because it's moving too fast right now. But nah, we called the timeout, and they like, yo, y'all just gotta relax, like just play y'all game. I mean, we settled down a little bit, and then we just started balling, started talking our shit like we normally do, and then just had fun with it. But it was definitely one of the experiences. I was like, if college football like this every week, I don't know if I'm ready for it.
You
I
ain't
don't
know if you was ready to keep going.
Yeah.
I definitely feel you. So talk about your upbringing, man, because you know what I mean. You were All American. You were NE10 defensive lineman of the year. You're a great player. So talk about your upbringing and just what got you into sports.
Uh, Definitely my pops, man. He's been around football all his life. He had the opportunity to play college ball a little bit. Feel me? So that was definitely like one big thing for him. Like he lived through football that got him to school. So he's been around. He's been coaching in Paterson because I'm from Jersey. You feel me? So he's been coaching in Paterson like down there all his life. So him just being a coach, I'm just out there on the field running around, just being a little dude, just running around, mascot, stuff like that. Then as I got older, started balling, started playing, and then I had actually quit. People don't know this. I quit football like 6th grade until my freshman year because I was a bowler.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had quit, and then everybody's like cursing my father out, like, why would you let him do that? Like, that ain't no real sport, all this other shit. So
But your father was cool with
yeah,
you,
my
like,
father was cool. Like I want my son to live his life. Like
Yeah, okay.
this ain't my dream. This is his dream.
Yeah.
So let him live his life. If he want to get back to it, he will. So this doing that, I mean, I just been around it all my life and I enjoyed it. So I was like, you know what? Let me get back to it. So my freshman year, I got back to it. Started balling again. Started just doing stuff. Like it's like just hopping back on a bike and never lost it. So that was definitely like a big thing for me. And then I just kept pushing. I always like had a chip on my shoulder being a small guy.
Yeah.
So I always had to push myself to be like, nah, like I'm that guy. Like you gonna want me on the field.
Yeah.
It's just to show who I was.
So you talk about being a bowler. You quit it football in sixth grade to become a bowler. A lot of people don't know you were the captain of the bowling team
Yeah.
throughout high school. You were a captain. You went. So what got you into bowling? Like what's that
Uh,
about?
so my mother and my pops, they bowled. They was a bowl like every Friday night.
Okay.
So they would like, instead of having me running around the bowling alley, they'd be like, "Yo, go in the corner, go bowl." They never knew I could bowl or anything. They just throw me in the corner, let me bowl, whatever. And once we get done, we out.
Yeah.
The actual owner of the bowling alley used to sit there and watch me bowl. And he like, "You ever watch your child bowl?" And he like, "Nah, like we never seen him bowl before." He like, "I think you should like take an interest and just like watch him." So once they said that, they like took me out the next day, like, "Yo, we're gonna go bowling. We wanna see." So they actually seen that I had like skills and stuff. So they
Yeah.
like, "Oh, all right, let me start getting him some stuff like bowling ball, stuff like that." So I got into it and I became an excellent bowler. Like I was getting scholarship money and stuff like that. I went to nationals a few times. I actually won nationals at a team event. So I did all of that. So I'm like, nah, I don't know. Bowling might be for me because it gave me an opportunity to travel. Like I'm seeing the world. Like
Yeah.
I'm going out of state, stuff like that for weeks on end. I'm like, yeah, I like this.
Yeah.
And all I had to do was just throw a ball down the lane. So it was like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was different. So I'm like, I really enjoy this.
Yeah.
So just doing that bowling. Then when I got to high school, that's when it like picked up more like competitive. Like everybody like was kind of like closer to my level. So I won states 4 times. So I'm a 4-time state championship bowler.
Full-time state champ.
Yeah, and then I got a ring for football too. So I got the bowling. I'm like, yeah, high school was different. It was better. So I like start competing, and then it came to a point where I was like my junior year, senior year. I was just like, nah, I don't see myself going to school for this. Like I don't want to be around bowling no more.
Yeah.
So I just like kind of like shied away from it. Like I finished out the season and everything. Made sure I did what I had to do for me to get my rings. Make sure like my team was straight.
Yeah.
But after that, it just came a point. I was just like, I want to go back to football. I want to go back to something I love, something I enjoy doing. So that's when I was like, I'm gonna focus up more on that. So I started taking away from that my junior year.
Full-time state championship as a bowler is crazy.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
That's kind of what was like. I was out of the four. Was there any one where it was like, oh, okay, I'm going against some cop. I don't know if I'm gonna win this one.
I would say my freshman year.
The first one.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, of
my
course.
first one. Yeah, that first ring. You know, they
Yeah.
gotta say. My freshman year, cause my freshman year, I didn't know like what to expect. I didn't know like how everything was gonna be going through bowling.
Yeah.
So, get to the state tournament. I was bowling good. You feel me? I made the cut, everything like that. Got to the step ladder, so that's like the top 5.
Okay.
Top 5. I get there. We start going at it. Bro, there's this kid named Jake. I ain't gonna lie, he's tough. It's tough. But I bowled with him when I was younger.
Okay.
But I never like bowled him.
Yeah.
But like you know, you just see somebody like, oh nah, he tough.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like on some respect stuff. So I finally got to bowled him, beat him. Then it was the next kid, another kid I bowled with named Matt. Bowled him. Now we going strike for strike. And then like he came down to the end, beat him. And I was like, after that, it was like those was like hardest 2 bowlers I had to go against that whole tournament. Everybody else, it was just a breeze.
easy.
So
Okay.
I just got there. So as a freshman winning that, they like, oh nah, like he the
might
next
got
thing.
something,
Yeah,
yeah.
he the next thing to come out of Jersey. So I'm like, I'm on my high horse. Sophomore year came in, still doing it. Junior year, still doing it. And then senior year, I was just like, man, I don't know, man. Like I came in like it was a slow start because we had just got done with football.
Okay.
Because it was like football season take me right into bowling, so it was like no break.
Yeah.
And it was like a transition. Like I've been lifting for football, now I gotta like stop lifting because it's bowling now. I
Yeah.
can't be
Yeah,
throwing
you
the
can't
ball.
be-
Crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. So it was just like that. Senior year, that transition, I got off to a slow start. So I was like, man, I'm struggling. So my father was like, yo, don't worry about it. Take a break. He's like, just take a week off from bowling. And you'll be good. Your team will hold you up. Which they did. They held it down. Came back from that week. It was the Christmas tournament. Christmas tournament, I came. I was on fire. Won that. Shot a perfect game, 312 strikes in a row. Won that. So I'm like, yeah. I'm like, all right, I'm back now. I'm good now. Started wilding for the rest of the season. I averaged like a 230, 226, and shit like that.
12 strikes in a row is crazy.
Yeah, I got a few perfect games.
12 strikes in a row. All right, so what's your record? Like the most strikes in a row you would say? Because you did 12 in a row, so it's 12 the
Like
most?
12 in a row in the game, that's the most like you can get in the game.
I'm not bowling against you, Jay. All right. So you were part of a fraternity. Talk about your fraternity. What got you into it? Like, what made you want to join it?
So I'm part of Phi Beta Sigma.
Uh-huh.
Feel me? So that whole situation, I ain't gonna lie, I came into like college, like I knew about it. You feel me? You know about shit. So
Yeah.
I knew about it, but I wasn't like too big on it. I'm like, nah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That ain't for me. That's what I said. But after like doing my research and then them coming up to me, like they talked to me on some stuff like this, build a bond, like really like a brotherhood. And they was just talking to me like they came up to me, started talking about football stats. I'm like, I don't even know. I
Yeah.
swear, I was like, I don't even know.
They was talking about your stats.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, yeah, you feel me? He's like, yeah. So like, what you trying to do? Just asking him my interests are in life. And I'm telling him like, oh yeah, my bro do that, blah blah blah. So I'm start talking to him. So now they just start like connecting me with people. You feel me? I'm just talking to them, everything. And this is like a brotherhood. So I'm like, nah, like y'all some real like it was genuine. It was just love, like real genuine love. It wasn't forced or nothing.
Yeah.
Like I'm forced to hit you up. Like I'm trying to get you to come here,
Mm-hmm.
bro. I talked to bro for like a year or two before he even said something about Sigma. Like yo, come, you feel me? Come be down with us. Come be down with the mob. So he said, I'm like, bro, nah, this is genuine, you feel me? He just showing me love, I'm showing him love, you feel me? And go back and forth. He like, yeah, like come be with the mob. So I did that and then did my little process. Everything was straight with that. So I really enjoy it. It's a lot of connections. You giving back to people in your community, all of that. I mean, you do community service, everything. Make sure people straight on campus. We make sure everything is good. So I definitely enjoy that. Like it's a different type of life.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely like, if you're interested, you feel me, just find out about it.
Now, for
Find
sure.
out
Talk
what's up.
about, because you're talking about, how, helpful you guys are to the community, and, that's great. But talk about the stigmas that could come with that, because a lot of people don't want to join fraternities because they hear different things about what it takes to get into it, what you got to do, and certain people aren't with that. Like, so what was your experience with that, if you had any?
Um, First of all, Phi Beta Sigma is the non-hazing fraternity.
Okay.
So just to let y'all know that. So we ain't doing nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But nah, ain't nothing to it, bro. I'm telling you, like, they ain't gonna have you do nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Feel me? Just learn stuff. That's all. That's all we did. Learn information. That's it. Learn some poems, shit like that.
Okay. So you talk about, you ended your senior season in football off with a championship, but you lost the year before that.
Oh yeah.
Like how much work did it take for, like, was it a whole team, like, yo, we can't lose again, we got to come out here, and the whole off season, or like, talk about like the losing process and what got you to winning that next year, your final year.
All right. So I ain't gonna lie. That whole season started for us. My senior year season started for us when we lost to Montclair that night. I swear, like that was like a pain that I'd never felt before. Like, bro, I was on the field crying, bawling, like
I know the feeling.
yeah, like I just lost,
Yeah.
bro. But that was a tough team, also too. But we also only had like 6 juniors that played, so I was one of them. So us 6, like we was like the ones who like kept working out, kept pushing other people. Like, yo, get the weight room, come on, like we got a season coming up. Feel me? So it took that whole off season, bro. We was just pushing each other. We was always together. Like no matter where we went, parties, anything. Like that whole team was together. Like they knew Tech football is coming to the party. All right, Tech gonna be there, bro. We was going to 7-on-7s, camp, stuff like that. Go party after.
Together.
But we
Yeah.
made sure we was up in the morning to go to Isiah Park, or make sure we was at school to get lifting. So definitely was like one of the hardest. Like it wasn't hard, but it was like, yo, we gotta push each other because I ain't trying to lose and I want a ring. Like it was just like, yeah, I got a bowling ring, yeah, but I want a football ring.
Yeah.
Like I wanna win this. I wanna feel that feeling of being great.
Yeah.
So we definitely like pushed each other and we kept working like nonstop, bro. So it was definitely a great experience of being part of that. Just getting the ring, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It was the better cry at the end of that game.
Yeah, for sure. So you talk about having an opportunity to, when you were doing good in bowling, go to college for bowling or whatever the case. What brought you to AIC? Did you have any other schools recruiting you? How was the recruiting process for you?
All right, so my recruiting process, I ain't gonna lie, it was the hardest thing for me. Because especially for my position, I played D-line, so I'm undersized.
Yeah.
So that was definitely like the biggest thing for me. So it was just D2, D3. Like any 10 wise, I had Southern here, New Haven, and Pace that came to look at me. Then there was a lot of D3s, Keene, Rutgers, Rowan, the usual, Wesley, stuff like that. So that whole process was definitely tough. And I knew, like I ain't going to say, like, it's bullish everywhere, no matter what, but I knew, like, I couldn't go D3 because that's when they wasn't giving out scholarships, stuff like that. So I'm not going to put that on my mother. I ain't putting it on my pops. So I knew I get D2. I already had scholarship money for bowling. So I'm like, I got to take, like, it was going to take care of my first year no matter where I went.
Yeah.
But I just needed to earn that scholarship and prove myself. So my boy, Jacquees Johnson, some of y'all may know him, some may not.
Okay.
But Ja was here. Ja's situation was just like mine. Was under-recruited, you feel me? He worked his way up, and then he got a scholarship. He's like, yo, bro, you come up here, you do the same thing, you're going to be good. So I'm like, all right, I took the visit up here. This was like one of my first visits, too. Took the visit up here. And then, like, when I seen the environment outside, I'm like, oh, it's kind of like Paterson in a way.
Yeah.
So it was like, I feel like I'm at home, but it's safer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, I feel like I'm at home, but it's safer. And y'all like, yo, you with it? And he like, you come up here, you do what you got to do, you going to bowl. So I'm like, all right, bet. So off rip, I knew I was coming here. So once he, like, kind of put that in, and then Kozer recruited me. So, you feel me? Kozer, he that guy, so he going to get you up here.
For sure.
So once he did that, I was just like, yeah, I'm coming up here. And then I just had to, like, work, bro. Like, every day I was just working. Like, I wanted to prove myself. Like, I had that chip on my shoulder. I'm like, I'm going to push myself. I'm going to get here. I'm going to get this scholarship. I'm going to make sure my mother don't got to worry about nothing. My pops don't got to worry about nothing. Nothing come out of pocket. So, just worked hard, really, just to push to get the D2. And then just did my thing. And, like, it showed on the field.
Yeah, for sure.
Showed my stats, everything, every year. So it was definitely a blessing to get here, bro. I definitely needed this.
For sure. So you talk about, being putting in the work and to be able to get your scholarship. Like we said earlier, you was the NE10 Defensive Lineman of the Year the year before COVID. That was 2019, right?
Yes, sir.
2019, you was an All-American as well. Where do you remember where you were when you found out that you were both? That you won both awards?
I'm trying to think. When I won the NE10 D Lineman of the Year, I was in my room. I ain't gonna lie, I was in my dorm room. So, like, only thing we'd be waiting for is the all-conference teams to come out.
Yeah.
Because we want to see, like, who got what. And then, you just go on from there, like, nah, bro didn't deserve that. Nothing like that.
Yeah.
So we was just waiting for that. So I'm just laying in the bed. CJ still up here. CJ Abysm still up here.
Okay.
Jason. So we all lived in the dorm together. So we just chilling. And then, like, we just waiting. And then my phone went off. It's Kozer. Kozer called me. He like, yo, I got some news for you. He like, yo, you got first team. I'm like, oh, word? I'm like, I appreciate that. Thanks. He like, I got something else. So I'm like, what? He like, yo, you won D Lineman of the Year. So I'm like, oh, shit. So I was just happy about that.
Yeah.
Then Jason all alone come in the room. They started jumping on my bed and shit. So I'm like, I gotta go. So when I found out that news, it was like a blessing. Like that was a goal of mine. Like definitely that was something I was working for. When I found out about the All-American thing, I was at home. I was actually in the bowling alley. Okay.
Wow.
I was in the bowling alley. Yeah, so I was in the bowling alley just chilling. I was with my family.
Yeah.
And then, like this on Instagram, getting tagged and stuff. So I'm like, what I'm getting tagged in?
So it wasn't nobody that called you?
Nobody.
It was just like tags on Instagram? Wow.
Yeah, nobody like really like called me or anything about this. This is something I just found out. And then like I'm just on Instagram scrolling. I'm like, it just popped up like All-American.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? So it was just like it was surprising, but it was like, nah, I deserved it. But it was like I just wanted to keep pushing for more. So I'm like, nah, I really just like it didn't really hit me like right then that I was an All American.
Yeah.
But it was just like over time, like yo, like I'm really an All American. Like I'm one of the top D linemen in Division II.
Yeah.
So it was like a blessing, really. Like, and then everybody was just like showing love. So it was definitely great. But I feel like even though it was just like a award for me, like I couldn't do that without my other D lineman brothers.
For sure.
So feel me. So shout out to them.
For sure. So you were able to, like we said, you were able to win that. Talk about how gratifying that was for you, because this is considered D lineman U amongst the NE10, especially. Like we have multiple D linemen that come out almost every year that dominate. So how was that for you, like to continue that legacy?
It was wonderful, bro. Cause I'm not gonna lie to you, like the older D lineman that was here when I first got up here, bro, they like took me under their wing quick.
Yeah.
They like, yo, you're not lifting with freshmen. You're not doing that. You're not doing that playing shit. When you come to weight room, you lifting with us. Mind you, they starting out numbers to lift like 315.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, like that's not me yet. Like, what y'all doing? So they like, nah, don't worry about it. We're gonna build you up to that point. Like we're gonna get you right so you can get the next group that come in right. So definitely like to keep that legacy going. Like Ace was like another dude for me here, DB. So he was like, yo, like this yours after this. Like I want you to keep this legacy going, like of this getting people right. He's like, you help one person out, that's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Because they can help the next person and just keep it going, keep that trend going, just being a good dude.
Yeah.
So definitely, like, it was, like, a great thing. Because Coach Nick, like, yeah, like, he, like, I ain't gonna lie, Coach Nick built me up. He got me to, like, a certain point. And then when I got Coach Raff, like.
Shout out Coach Raff.
Yeah, that's my guy for real.
Yeah.
To this day. Even though I'll be coaching him. But nah, Coach Raff definitely, like, let me, like, move around, like, let me blossom, just let me do what I do. He like, yo, you're a bowler, no matter where I put you at, so just do what you do, and I'm going to put you in that spot.
Yeah.
And then when it showed that I could move around, everything, it just helped out even better. I feel like it helped the defense out, it helped us out as a group.
Yeah. So what made you, you majored in psychology at your time at AIC, right?
Yes, sir.
What made you do that, major in psychology?
I really wanted to get into education.
Uh-huh.
But, because when I did, in high school, we had, like, shops and stuff. I did child development.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working, like, with preschool kids and stuff like that. So I knew I wanted to be, like, in the school system, but I didn't want to really be a teacher. So, like, my personal goal, I want to be a counselor. That's what I'm doing in my master's program right now.
Mm-hmm.
So psychology was kind of like the way of, like, just learning about behavior, stuff like that, and seeing, like, different concepts, different stages to things, and I found it interesting. So I hopped into that field and just gained all that information just to help me out with my master's.
So what's something that, like, you found out or you learned during your time from majoring in psychology, that just about behaviors that's like, wow, this is crazy?
Definitely like the culture aspect, like the culture shocks of like how different people are raised, cause it's just different.
Yeah.
Cause I come from a household like you fuck up, that's your ass.
For sure.
Your ass beat.
Yeah.
So it was just like different, like just seeing how different cultures go about things and how they raise their child, how certain things are not allowed, how you can't look somebody in the eye, how you can't like look up at people, like you gotta be like bend down on your knees, stuff like that, just to talk to people. So it was definitely like different for me, like just reading that, and then like even if I'm like in the session, like I would have to like realize that it's culture boundaries that I can't cross because that's disrespectful to them. So it's definitely like a different aspect of having to find new ways, and it's always something interesting to me. Like it's always gonna be something new. It's never gonna be the same old thing every time.
Mm-hmm.
So I just find that interesting, and that's what like really got me to that point.
Okay, so you're a defensive lineman, but you don't just stay in the inside. You can move to end, D tackle, to 3 tech, whatever. So who's some of your, let's go, top 5 pass rushers of all time?
Of course, number 1, Aaron Donald.
You going?
I'm sorry.
Number 1 of all time?
Because he just undersized. That's like another
okay.
So definitely Aaron Donald. All time.
You got your Lawrence Taylors, your Reggie Whites. Yeah.
Nah, definitely Reggie White at number 2. That's like one of my mother's
Reggie
favorite.
White at number 2.
That's definitely one of my mother's favorite football players. That's the
Okay.
crazy part to that.
Okay. Where you putting Lawrence Taylor at as LT?
Well, LT gonna go 2. I'm gonna give LT 2.
Okay.
Feel me? Because he was at the Giants. I get mad.
Oh,
I'm right. Oh, my fault.
That's your team?
Nah, that ain't my team.
Why you say my fault?
Because I know how you get when people don't talk about the Saints.
Ain't no. We a play. Continue going out. We a playoff team, man. We a playoff team.
So Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White. I'm gonna go Michael Strahan at 4. Definitely. This 5th one.
You go a lot.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying.
You go Jason Taylor. You go Ed Too Tall Jones. It's a lot.
I'm gonna have to go. Oh man.
You could throw Cameron Jordan in there.
Nah, he ain't going up there yet.
He ain't going up there, nah.
Nah, I'm gonna have to go Ware.
Go Marcus Ware.
Definitely.
Okay, as your 5th. That's your 5th one.
Yeah.
Okay, now who your favorite NFL team, LT?
We had this discussion before. Y'all was off camera. Y'all ain't see this.
All right.
But in Madden, I use the Cardinals, so that's gonna be my team.
The Cardinals.
Yeah. Feel me? D-Hop, Isaiah Simmons, Buda Baker, all of them. Yes.
You know who they got to.
Listen, it's all right.
You ain't see the game?
Nah, I seen it. Don't worry about it. But if I was out
Don't
there,
worry about it.
if I was out there coaching or playing, it would have been different. That's all I'm gonna say.
You seen what Kyler was doing, right? You seen what Kyler was doing, right?
Yo, listen, don't worry about that. It's next season.
Next season, J.J. Watt going. Y'all put together a powerhouse. Y'all put together a powerhouse to go out there and do that.
Listen, it was somebody else missing.
Who was missing?
D-Hop.
You gonna blame? Who was missing on the defense? We don't got to talk about it. Let's move on. What's your favorite NBA team, LT?
Favorite NBA team? I'm not big on the NBA.
Nah.
I ain't gonna cap.
Who's your GOAT?
Who's my GOAT? LeBron. I ain't gonna lie. The man's great.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm gonna keep it. I used to hate LeBron.
Why?
I'm gonna tell you why. The only reason why I used to hate LeBron is because growing up, I was a huge Kobe fan. Like, I was a huge Kobe fan. And this is the time where they started. LeBron went to the Heat. They started. Oh, LeBron might be better than Kobe. LeBron. I wasn't going for that. Especially when LeBron was still, Kobe was still playing. So I'm like, no. Kobe's the GOAT. I hate LeBron. LeBron's it was like how I talk about the Saints now versus every other team. It was worse. Like, I hated LeBron because people were trying to put him over Kobe. Now, like, I'm older. I could appreciate greatness, and he plays for the Lakers. I like dog. He's a dog.
Nah, definitely. I respect his game in all aspects, bro.
Like, he's 37 dunking on kids.
Bro, numbers don't lie. Numbers do not lie.
He's better than Jordan.
I respect that too.
He's better than Jordan. Bro, at the end of the day, people overhype Jordan. Jordan's overrated. Now, let me stop for somebody. Them old heads going to kill me. So, I got a couple more questions for you, IT.
Yes, sir.
If you could choose one album for the soundtrack of your life, like this album, you listen to and it's like it reminds you of certain things in your life. It relates to you as a person or whatever. Like, what's this album for the soundtrack of your life?
Hold up.
Because, like, you could, it could be just what the person said on certain. Because nowadays, albums are good, but it's song driven. It's rare that you have a whole album, top to bottom. The whole work is amazing. Like, for me, I would probably have to go Nipsey Hussle, Victory Lap, just because from top to bottom, everything is just.
I ain't gonna lie. What I'm probably about to say, y'all probably gonna look at me crazy.
Okay.
But it's gonna be Young Boy until Death Call My Name, Reloaded. No cap.
That's your soundtrack to your life.
Yeah.
I mean, Young Boy is a YouTube superstar. First of all, his streaming numbers are off the charts. So I don't think nobody's gonna look at you too crazy. But what about that album makes it the soundtrack of your life?
Like I don't. It's just bangers on there, but I be like, you feel me? I could feel it. Like some of the pain that he talking about in them songs, like I just feel it myself. Like I could see myself going, like, not going through everything he went through, but certain things said, I'll be like, nah, I feel that. You feel me? It hit different for me.
So, music is a big thing for athletes before games. So, like, what's going through your playlist? Like, you gotta, because I know one of our teammates, one of the twins, they listen to gospel before music. Some people listen. Like, what is your go-to for the games? Like, is it a mix? What?
So definitely G Herbo gotta get played.
Okay.
Keith, like,
Chief Keef still?
yeah, to this day.
Okay.
Young boy, Jersey, definitely gotta have some Jersey club in there.
Your Jersey club before the game.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, cause like, you feel me, like, it's cool to like listen to like hard music,
Yeah.
but I need something like, you feel me, like,
Get you
break
loose.
down, get me
Okay,
loose,
yeah.
you feel me, so I'm like more relaxed before the game. I don't want to be tensed up like I'm about to kill somebody.
All right.
Then go out there and get smoked first play or something. So
Yeah.
it's trying to loose me up. But nah, I think that's it really. Some Drake. I ain't
Drake.
gonna lie, yeah, some Drake.
Like what side of Drake? The rapping side, the like.
Rapping side somewhat. Yeah.
Okay. So, who's your top 5 artists right now?
Top 5 for me. Young Boy, G Herbo, Baby, Dirk. That's 5th spot.
Meek Mill.
Nah.
Huh?
Nah.
What you mean?
Meek, nah.
You ain't.
I mess with Meek, but he ain't my.
Oh, you ain't listened to that last album, huh?
Not really.
That's the problem. That's why you got him so low.
Nah, I got some songs up there though, but man, that 5th spot. I might have to go with Moneybag Yo.
Moneybag.
Yeah.
He hard right now. He doing a lot of like big things. A lot of his records are cool. So who's your top 5 all time? You would say. You still putting Young Boy in there?
Nah.
Okay. Because a lot of people putting Young Boy in their top 5 already right now.
Nah.
Off it.
Tupac. Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne.
Throwing Nas in there?
Nah.
Okay.
Once again, this last spot. Drake. Yeah.
Okay, now you're an East Coast guy, so are you going Biggie or Tupac? Which one is?
I'm going Tupac. I ain't gonna lie. I love Tupac.
Why? Like, is it just for Tupac? Because a lot of people say it's bigger than just music for them. So is it just because of the music side, or is it like just him in general as a person?
I mean, I would say music because that's the only thing I like really got from. I ain't never meet the man. So,
Yeah.
So I would say the music part, and just like even like the way like it's just shown like from interviews and stuff and like movie portrayals of him. Like, I really, like, enjoyed him as a person. Like,
Yeah.
his music was good, his acting, all of that. So, he's definitely, like, cool to me. Especially when he did Hit 'Em Up. That's, like, one of my favorite songs from Tupac,
You
bro.
go crazy to that?
Yes. That's definitely something I got to get played
You
for the
listening
game.
to that before the game?
Yes. Definitely.
All right, so I got one last question for you, to get you out of here. What's one thing, right, or multiple things, or like the main purposeful thing you learned here at your time in college? Because there's so much you can learn just from being away from home. What's your like main thing that you took away?
One of the first things I learned and I was saying, like, just be yourself, bro. Don't be nobody you not. Like, don't come up here and try to act like something you not that you. Like, when you at home, be that same person. Don't come up here and try to be somebody else, because it all backfire at the end. That's like one thing I seen people come up here and lose themselves. Like, first week of school, feel me, they was cool. Then second week, everybody try to find themselves, trying to find who they gonna hang with, start switching up. Just be yourself. You be yourself, you gonna be good. Everybody gonna like respect you more. I feel like I definitely respect you more. That's one thing about me. I can say I came up here. I'm gonna be myself. Everybody gonna know who IT is, who Isiah Tolbert is. So I just did that, and I just got the respect that I needed. If you respect it, then that's cool. You go ahead, just go on your way. But just be yourself. I'm telling you, it'll carry you a long way. Everybody will respect you. Coaches, professors, dean, president, whoever you run into, they're going to respect you a lot more.
For sure. I got one more thing because I don't want to not talk about it. Because it's big. You got the chance to, you were invited to the All-American game. Talk about your experience down there.
Sir.
It was in Florida, right?
Yeah.
So how was your experience down there, man? That's big.
I ain't going to lie, like, from the jump, when I walked in the Newark airport and I had my equipment with me, I just felt, I don't know, that it just felt special off
Yeah.
rip. Like just having my equipment walking through the airport and people saying that like, yo, like where you going? Like who you play for? I'm like, yo, I'm going down to an All-Star game. So it was definitely
Word.
dope. And then like being at that practice, I ain't gonna lie, like we was in practice with uppers. Wrote like first play, as soon as somebody got hit, they like, yo, we hitting. So it got like it was live down there.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of competition, bro. 1-on-ones. All we did, I swear, we did like 2 minute worth of drills, and then everything else was like 1-on-one team, 1-on-one team. So it was definitely a lot of opportunity down there. I got to showcase my talent. That process is crazy. I ain't gonna lie, it's worse than recruiting.
How so? Like, what you?
So that whole process really like you gotta find an agent. You feel me? Like just market yourself, get yourself out there, show them that you're a brand. Like you basically like your company, like your body, your template. Like, you're a company, bro.
Yeah.
So you gotta get that out to the agents. Then they gotta connect you to who they want you to work out with, like get workouts, stuff like that, so you can start training for your pro day. So that whole situation, just making sure you get a pro day, stuff like that. So it's definitely like it's rough, bro. It's worse than I'm telling you. It's worse than getting recruited because you had a coach, you got somebody there to help you. But now it's just like,
Just every man for themselves.
yeah, like, and then it's just not chill. It's everybody from all divisions.
Yeah,
So you definitely gotta get that going.
for sure. But unfortunately, you got the chance to earn yourself the spot at the All American game.
Yeah.
You got the chance to showcase your talents. So I'm happy for you, man. The Saints could definitely use some more pass rushers. So if they do, I told somebody the same thing. Y'all don't got the choice. But if they call,
I'll be down there, and I have your tickets ready.
man, listen, I don't really tickets would be cool. Planes, I don't really, but like. I need to talk to a couple people about a couple things. Marcus Williams, we ain't gonna get into too much. I appreciate you for joining us. You dig? I appreciate you for coming on, man.
I appreciate you, bro.
You're a great player. You were a great leader. I wish I got the chance to watch you in the 2019 year. I seen your stats, ridiculous. Keep going, bro. You're an undersized D tackle, but you do great. You work hard, and you're gonna go far, bro. I appreciate you for coming on.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's a necessary conversation. I'm your host, Saleem Isiah, and we're out.